resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Put an effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his worth is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles you'll find along the road, you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life. No coincidence.
There was, according to the Washington Post reporting, a surging number of unaccompanied minors being apprehended at the border. In 2014, there were nearly 70,000, according to the Post reporting. And that same year, there was this viral image of children being kept in a cage at a detention center. Do you see any parallels here? How different is what we're seeing today from these images?
In many ways, and I think I don't know what image you're using, but I released some of those photos because it was kept very quiet under the Obama administration. There were large numbers of people coming in. The Obama administration was trying to keep this quiet, and I don't know which image you're using, but I released some photos that I had gone about those young kids that were kept there, and we're still seeing numbers. And keep in mind, when they talk about putting some of the young kids in those centers, not all of them are being separated. Some of them are coming alone, as Ed said a few minutes ago. Some of them are coming on their own. So it's not a matter that every single child that we have in those centers are being separated, because some of them are coming alone. Keep in mind that under the law, you can separate a child if that person, the adult, is not the real parent or the custodian. Because sometimes we see situations where they'll bring a child because they know of the policy that we have over here with children, or at least what we used to have. Or if there's a criminal offense.
You have to concentrate on saying the people who should be here are those who come legally at this time. And we've got to, for the time being, enforce our borders. The day when America could be the welfare system for Mexico is gone. We simply can't afford it. And I think you've seen the figures to state and local governments of what the cost is. It's over $2 billion.
I think we should enforce our borders. To have a situation where 40% of the babies born on Medicaid in California today are born of illegal immigrants creates a very real problem for the state, which is in deficit.
To better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. Those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they
have used the power that they have gotten for all the wrong things. They want to keep themselves in power. They want to cater to the special interests. It is time for us as Democrats to be as tough as they are, to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, she and my wife, like, really tight, which always scares me and Barack. But Michelle always says that, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant in a department store, at a gasoline station. You get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We know where you live too, Mitch. We know where you live. Yeah. We know where you live, Mitch.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace. If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
I need you to go out and talk to your friends and talk to your neighbors. I want you to talk to them whether they're independent or whether they are Republican. I want you to argue with them and get in their face.
We talk to these folks because they potentially have the best answers, so I know who's asked to kick.
With Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, when they're talking about bringing a gun to a knife fight, when they're inciting violence against police officers, today we have police officers called out to fake calls so they can be ambushed and potentially assassinated. And we're talking about protesters, paid protesters, going to disrupt a Republican rally. If it wasn't Donald Trump, it would be...
You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
So, you're a philosopher? Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
You're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka The Brave. What's up? What's up, New Haven? What's up, Facebook, Twitter, everybody? What's up? How's everybody doing? It was a horrible weekend when you look at what happened, you know, with the shootings. That guy at the end of the week with the bombs. It's getting difficult, to say the least, right, out there, to actually have a sense of humor about anything, right? And if you try to bring some levity into a situation, if you try to just joke about something, the media is gonna jump on you and attack you like they did Trump. He made a joke about his hair. Oh my God, how could he talk about his hair when this is happening? You know, it gets to the point where you look at the media and there's just nothing there. They have nothing to offer but hate. I woke up this morning, tuned into Morning Joe. And you want to talk about hate speech? That was some of the most disgusting hate speech out there. And NBC, MSNBC, should take a look in the mirror before they start calling people out for the things that they are doing, that the MSNBC is doing. Mika, Joe, they were disgusting this morning. You know, pointing fingers, accusing people. And then, you know, I come in here and I actually found some sane voices here. Some Democrats who said they realized that it's these crazy people are crazy. And it has nothing to do with rhetoric on either side, because I don't know if I'm getting to people, Because are you going to say your rhetoric caused Congressman Scalise to get shot? Is Obama's rhetoric against police gonna is that the cause for all the police officers who've been shot ever since? We gotta stop pointing fingers at each other. And I was trying to explain today. I was gonna come in here, try to do a show where I'm not pointing fingers myself, but it gets to the point that if you don't respond to all the accusations out there that because you don't believe or think like the other side, it's your fault if something happens. Right? But they don't want to take any responsibility for anything ever. Right? If a Democrat does something, oh, it's the toxic environment Trump has created. Right? If some loon on the other side does something, well, of course, he's following Trump. What in the world is going on in the head of these people who are on the media? Joe and Mika on the media telling us that the president is evil? This is getting ridiculous. But unfortunately, when people are pointing fingers, if you don't point back, then your silence is acceptance of what they're calling you. So we got to point back, right? All right, let's start with some articles here. How you doing? Peace. Peace and love. Look, peace and love coming from me. I could care less what anybody actually thinks about anything. What I don't want you to go do is because you feel a certain way is go hurt each other. That's the most insane thing in the world. And then when somebody is crazy enough to hurt somebody, don't point fingers at other people because they disagree with you. Right? Nobody is saying get up in anybody's faces. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying get up in their faces and, if you disagree with them.
They have used the power that they have gotten.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I do have some.
Wrong things. They want to keep themselves in power. They want to cater to the special interests. It is time for us as Democrats to be as tough as they are, to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, she and my wife like really tight, which
maybe
scares me and Barack.
Maybe there is a side
when they go low,
telling people
No. When they go low, we kick them.
You kick them.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore.
Tell them they're not welcomed anymore. Maybe there is a side alienating the other side. I don't know. Maybe there is.
Anywhere.
We know where you live, too, Mitch. We know where you live. Yeah. We know where you live, Mitch.
You hear that? That's people yelling at Susan Collins. We know where you live, B. Yeah, this gets ugly real fast, right? On both sides. But why don't the Democrats take responsibility for their portion of it? Okay, Trump has rhetoric. Right? Trump has rhetoric. He's never told anybody, well, he did do it I was going to say never. I'll take that never back because in a campaign, he told somebody, to punch somebody. Right? But that was, 3 years ago in 2015? He hasn't done it again. Right? But everybody keeps going back to 2015, which I could do the same thing with Obama. If you bring, if they bring a knife, you bring a gun to a knife fight. That was said by Obama. Are you going to hold him to those words for the rest of his life? Right? Now, Trump comes out and, he's trying to unite the country. But now the media said, we don't believe him. Until he says we've been right all along, you're not going to get Trump getting down on his knees and asking for forgiveness from the media. You guys are insane. And if you keep going, you're inciting people. It's your job to be the referee. It's not your job to go after people. You're the media. All right, let's go to the story I was talking about. The New York Times. When progressives embrace hate, right? And it's a long article. I'll read a little bit of it. I'll jump. A mere half year ago, before collusion and Comey, before Mika's face and Muslim bans and the mooch, there was a shining moment where millions of Americans flooded the street in the cities across the country to register their rage that an unapologetic misogynist had just been made leader of the free world. Donald Trump's election was a watershed moment. Even those like me who had previously pulled levers for candidates of both parties felt that Mr. Trump had not only violated all sense of common decency, but alarmingly that he seemed to have no idea that there even existed such an unspoken code of civility and dignity. Now was the time to build a broad coalition to resist the genital grabber from the nuclear codes, right? And this is exactly, look, that's toxic. That's toxic. And this is how they felt in Trump being elected president. This is toxic language being used by the media. Let's keep going. The Women's March moved me. Okay, so Madonna and Ashley Judd said nutty things. Yeah, nutty things. Madonna said she sometimes dreams about blowing up the White House. Isn't that normalizing hate against the people in the White House? Right? Let's just jump. It's gonna take long. Right? Because and the four activists who put that Women's March together, the image of the fearsome foursome echoed in more than a few flattering profiles was like a seductive Benetton ad. There was Tamika Mallory, a young black activist who was crowned the Sojourner Truth of Our Time by Jet Magazine, and a Leader of Tomorrow by Valerie Jarrett. Carmen Perez, a Mexican-American, a veteran political organizer, was named Fortune's top 50 world leader. One of Fortune's top 50 world leaders. Linda Sarsour, a hijab-wearing Palestinian-American and the former head of the Arab American Association of New York, had been recognized as a champion of change by the Obama White House. And Bob Bland, the fashion designer behind the Nasty Woman t-shirt, was the white mother who came up with the idea for the march in the first place. Right? And those were the people who started the movement for the Women's March. And everybody was celebrating this toxic feeling of having this hate for the president, right? Because they heard something he said off record, right? Something that was private, which, they didn't care about Bill Clinton. They didn't care about Ted Kennedy. But this guy embodied all that's evil, right? Okay. What wasn't to like? A lot, as it turns out. The leaders of the Women's March, arguably the most prominent feminists in the country, have some chilling ideas and associations, far from erecting the big tent so many had hoped for. The movement they led has embraced decidedly illiberal causes and cultivated a radical tenor that seems determined to alienate all but the most woke. You know, you got to think like them. You got to be woke, you know. You got to be cool woke. Let's start with Miss Sassour. By far the most visible of the quartet of organizers. It turns out that this homegirl in a hijab, as one of many articles about her put it, has a history of disturbing views as advertised by Linda Sassour herself. There are comments on her Twitter feed of the anti-Zionist sort. Nothing is creepier than Zionism, she wrote in 2012. And oddly, given her status as a major feminist organizer, there are more than a few that seem to make common sense or make common cause with anti-feminists, like this from 2015. Y'all know when you're living under Sharia law, if suddenly all your loans and credit cards become interest-free. Sound nice, doesn't it? She has dismissed the anti-Islamist feminist Ayaan Hirsi Ali in the most crude and cruel terms, insisting she is not a real woman and confessing that she wishes she could take away Miss Ali's vagina. This about a woman who suffered genital mutilation as a girl in Somalia. That's the Democrats. That's one of your Democrat leaders. Right? That hate the Democrats allowed to exist in their midst, to channel that hate. But it was okay. It's okay because you hate Trump. You see, that's the problem with everything. We're going by feelings. Never mind the economy. Never mind the lowest unemployment in 60 years. Never mind the lowest unemployment for Hispanics and blacks ever. Never mind the facts. Never mind that Trump came out against the shooting and the pipe bombs that was sent last week. Never mind. Because Joe Scarborough and Mika don't care. They don't believe him. So whenever he says something that's unifying, they say, oh, the people from the White House wrote him pretty words to read. And then they point fingers at everybody. Trump, at all of his followers, the people who voted for him. Because if you don't think like them, you're the enemy. And then when Trump comes out and says fake news is the enemy of the people, everybody goes crazy. Fake news is the enemy. Your hurt feelings is the enemy. If it's not based in fact, it is the enemy. Everybody is out there trying to get Trump. This guy who went in and shot people in a synagogue, he hated Trump too. He hated that Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. You know who else had that sentiment? A whole bunch of Democrats. A whole bunch of Democrats had that sentiment of hating Trump for moving the embassy to to Jerusalem. I had Democrats who were cheering the border fight between the Palestinians and Israel, and hoping Israel would kill more little Palestinians. That's the Democrat Party. But everybody likes to stand on their soapbox and pontificate their morality as if it exists. You guys are full of hate until you want to actually do something with the country, we're not going to move forward because all you want to do is do something about the president. You hate the president. Let's start there. All right, people. I'm going to take a quick break. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Bulla. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. Count that money, count that money, count that money all night. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. Count that money, count that money, count that money all night. When I was 16, I was really in the spot. Trap phone, ring it, every pocket got a knot. Water whipping Yola got me whipping off the lot. Holla auntie, keep the extra, she gon' scrape it out the pot. Couple hitters with me, but you know I got my own strap. Switching up my numbers, cause the feds be tryna phone tap. Ziggins ain't 100, so you gotta watch your own back. And my name tatted on the pistol, so I own that. Shorty want some Quavo, I don't do the whole set. I do what I want, nigga, and you do what these hoes say. Fuck her like a porn star, says she tryna role play. How you wanna feel, nigga, and you ain't bustin' no plays. You ain't making plays, my nigga, what goddamn. I've been waiting on this moment since they let me out the camp. Watch them just get excited when the nigga hit the stage. I'm the only young boy acting older than my age, cause when I was 16, I was really in the streets. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. Ducking cops and making sales. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. Count that money, count that money, count that money all night. When I was 16, I was really in the streets. Count that money, count that money, count that money all night. When I was 16, I was breaking.
All right, you listen to the Breaking News.
Now it's time to hit the mall.
Let's get into it. Let's play. All right, so, you have people who have normalized the hate of Trump, right? So you have Snoop Dogg shooting Trump in the head in one of his videos. You had Shakespeare at the Park in New York killing Trump. You had Madonna wanting to blow up the White House, right? You had the comedian who had a head of Trump as if she beheaded him, right? You have this normalization of hate for Trump, right? He comes out and he says fake news. Oh my God, he is an attack on democracy. Oh my God, Trump is coming after us. No. You guys have a responsibility too. You're the media, right? And nobody trusts you. You look at all the polls. You don't even reach 30% on all the polls. The media is a joke these days. If you're going to go after Trump for calling you fake news, then you have to villainize all of these people who want to kill Trump. Johnny Depp. When was the last time an actor assassinated the president? How is that okay? And you guys are like nothing. You're like nothing. Trump says anything. I remember the CNN story on ice cream in the White House and how Trump got 2 scoops while everybody else had 1 scoop. That's the thing, is everything is out to get the president for having 2 scoops of ice cream. It gets ridiculous, right? It's incredible. It's incredible. I had to hear today, it's so funny, with the people here that I work with. F you to anybody who doesn't agree with them. Other people here, I can't say names because they'll get insulted. But, people who visited here today, obviously it's Trump's fault. He's created this environment. No, Trump hasn't created this environment. This environment was created by you guys, right? On election night, it was known that Trump won. It took Hillary till 3 o'clock in the next morning to actually call Trump to concede, but she really never conceded. She's still out there saying that she got robbed. It's incredible. You had Obama campaigning for Hillary Clinton for a month, going out and telling everybody that Trump was a white supremacist. Obama was doing that all over the place. If he's okay with them now, he's going to be okay with them. That's Obama. That toxic speech is Obama. It's Hillary. It's you guys who wouldn't accept him as president. He is president. He's your president, like it or not. All right. Let's look at this. Louis Farrakhan. Let me ask you, why is Louis Farrakhan defended by the Black Caucus? Why is Louis Farrakhan defended by people in Congress? He's anti-Semitic. He hates Jews. He just called them termites. Now tell me, try to explain that one to me. How Louis Farrakhan still has a voice in the Democrat Party. Representative Keith Ellison faces renewed, this is on CNN Politics, faces renewed scrutiny over past ties to the Nation of Islam and defense of anti-Semitic figures. By the way, Keith Ellison has also been accused of beating up his last girlfriend. And did you see the Me Too movement get together and go after Keith Ellison? No, they don't care. They don't care about anything. They just hate Trump. And that's where the proof is. That's where the proof is. Look at all these people who are outraged. Go and look at how they reacted to people in their same party saying these words themselves. Representative Keith Ellison's past ties to the Nation of Islam and his defense of its anti-Semitic leader Louis Farrakhan are resurfacing as he campaigns to lead the Democrat National Committee. Right? So look, he's the deputy director of the DNC. He's running for attorney general. Yeah, if you could believe that. The guy's beating up his girlfriend, and he's running for attorney general of Minnesota. Where's the outrage? Where are all the Democrats? Okay. And then look at this. Look at this. A nice attack on the Christian church. John Cleese, the guy from Monty Python, right? I'm merely pointing out that's the way he wrote it, so I'm just going to read it the way he wrote it. I'm merely pointing out that Mr. Trump is a sleazy, corrupt, egotistical, and mendacious sociopath. What I'm trying to understand is why evangelicals approve of him. Have you not read the New Testament? Or do they think it's not meant to be taken literally? Oh, there's a couple of backhanded ones there, right? So, if you're a Christian and you voted for Trump, what's wrong with you? Do you not read your Bible? Why not just vote for Hillary Clinton? She hasn't done nothing, right? She hasn't gone after women who have accused her own husband of rape. She hasn't done anything. You know, this is it. This is a double standard. I would like to see what John Cleese thinks of Bill Clinton. Probably his hero. Let's switch gears. A little second here. We'll go back. Okay, NBC News report. NBC News withheld vital information that could have cleared Kavanaugh of rape allegations, but of course they didn't. What they did is they hid it until after. And now they're like, we weren't hiding anything. It wasn't on. We didn't have to release the fact that one of his accusers had taken back everything she said to them, to NBC. Sedgwick, the Avenatti person, right? Who cares? It's the same thing. It's the same thing all the time with NBC. If there's an audio file, they cut a piece of the audio file. If there's a video file, they cut and paste that one. What's going on? What's going on out there? Are we not holding the media up to standards anymore? The news? Judicial Watch files House ethics complaint against Maxine Waters for inciting violence and assaults on Trump cabinet. Yeah, go get in their face. Tell them they're no longer welcomed here anymore. Maxine Waters. Yeah. She's actually, look, if the Democrats win the House, she's actually going to be a chairman of some committee or something. I think a finance committee. Crazy Maxine Waters. The migrant caravan refuses offer of asylum and work assignments in Mexico. The caravan is at a standstill, however, amidst reports of crime and child abduction. Yeah, a kid went missing in the caravan, I think on Saturday, and then they froze the caravan yesterday, but are back on the move today. Right, so Arizona Central reports that the caravan, which now numbers between 5,000 and 7,000, ran into a Mexican police blockade Saturday, temporarily halting progress on a bridge just outside the Mexican state of Oaxaca. Rows of police impeded the migrants' path, prompting several hours of negotiations between police commanders, immigration officials, and caravan representatives, the AC Central reports. So yeah, so they were offered asylum in Mexico and work assignments, and no thank you, we're going to the United States border. That's what's going on. So they're gonna go to the U.S. border and say they want asylum when they've already been offered asylum in a neighboring country in Mexico. You tell me what's going on. Do we want to follow laws? Do we not want to follow laws? Or do we want no laws on the border? Should we just have an open border? What's going on? What do people want out there? Do we really want to leave a wide open border? Now keep in mind that the Guatemalan president said that he himself over there in Guatemala, they caught 100, at least 100 terrorist fighters. That's what the Guatemalan president said. Are we going to believe it or not? Because nobody wants to believe anything. Trump says, well, there's some bad people in the midst of that caravan. Prove it! Well, you got the Guatemalan president saying he has sent away about 100 Middle Easterners who were trying to infiltrate the caravan. So what's going on? All right, let me take a break. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news on 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
It's the way that you move it, and don't you stop what you're doing, 'cause I love watching how you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that sees
get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care who knows. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care who knows. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. You got that thing that I need, and you're making it hard for me to breathe. There's a fire burning deep inside of me, burning hotter as you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that I see, I see, I see. Gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio. All right. I was trying to not have to go on the defensive, but you know, people are ridiculous. All right, let's go to Democrat candidate Ilhan Omar defending tweet on the evil doings of Israel. Yeah, this is Somali-born Minnesota State Rep Ilhan Omar, who's currently running for the state's 5th congressional district seat. She sent out this tweet. Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel. I don't know. Is that an anti-Israel tweet? I don't know. You tell me. So now she's trying to defend it. She didn't mean anything against Israel. She doesn't hate Jewish people. She just spews hate online and then says she didn't mean it. And usually that works for Democrats, right? You have Joy Reid, who's anti-LGBTQ community, said some horrible things. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that works. You're a Democrat. You're in. That's how it works for Democrats. So she thinks that Israel, this Ilhan Omar thinks Israel is evil. How nice. I wonder how many crazies she inspired with that tweet. Okay, let's see if I could get this clip working. My audio clips don't always work. It's like, you know, somebody from YouTube is tuning into my show and messing with me. All right, let's play it. And it doesn't work. Alrighty then. Never mind. The video clip is, or the audio clip is of Howard Dean. Howard Dean saying that the president is evil. To quote, the president of the United States is evil. He said this on, I think it was Saturday on Joy Reid's show. No biggie. That's not inspiring anybody, right? That evil rhetoric of his. All right, let's see if I have anything here. It's almost time for me to go. I'm going to leave out of here early. Here goes another Muslim running for Congress. But you didn't hear about this one. Democrats aren't proud of this one, right? So why would they let you know that a Muslim Republican just might win? Right? So let's read it. This from Fox News Insider. Son of immigrants trying to become first Muslim GOP congressman in Southern California race. right? A man whose parents immigrated to California in the 1970s is seeking to become the first Muslim Republican in Congress, attempting to unseat Representative Scott Peters. Omar Quadret, whose parents came to Los Angeles from Afghanistan, is a former Department of Defense counterterrorism prosecutor and served in Afghanistan as a civilian in 2011-2012. Quadret said Thursday that the media is trying to give his opponent a free pass, lamenting the failed liberal policies that have brought the state to near total destruction, with rising homelessness in major cities and an exodus of small businesses, right? Of course, the media could care less. Look, Connecticut is suffering this horrible business climate that the Democrats have created in Connecticut. We're suffering, and the people are the ones that are suffering worse, because all these businesses that are no longer here to pay taxes, you have to pay those taxes. You have to make up the budget deficit. And the Democrats just float free. The Democrats, the media could care less. Nobody writes anything about how much the Democrats have failed in Connecticut. What a surprise. Let's get a few stories, quick stories right now. All right. Woman claims cop raped her. And we all know we got to believe every woman alive if she's a female and breathes. You got to believe her. Or maybe even if she considers herself a female, or who knows, right? Woman claims cop raped her. DNA evidence changes everything. Early last week, Bellevue, Washington Police Chief Steve Milet resumed his job after being suspended due to false charges being made against him. The case took on a life of its own due to the salaciousness of the charges against him, allegedly raping a woman in a nearby town, as well as the dramatic way he was cleared. According to the Seattle Times, Milet resumed duty after an investigation by police in nearby Bothell revealed the woman was lying about the alleged sexual assault, and that DNA material collected during the investigation didn't match the chief. I don't care what the DNA says. The guy did it. You gotta believe her, right? I don't care what that DNA says. He did it. You know how I know? Because she said so. All right. Whew. Protesters, yeah, and that's the toxic rhetoric that was in the air for what? About 3 weeks on the Kavanaugh stuff. The Democrats were willing to suspend due process. Get rid of the presumption of innocence because of their hate. All right. Quick. Protesters interrupt moment of silence for Pittsburgh synagogue victims at Blackburn rally. Oh, yeah. You got to go see this video because I know YouTube's not going to let me play it. Right? But protesters repeatedly disrupted a campaign rally for Republican Senate candidate Representative Marsha Blackburn in Tennessee on Sunday, even during a moment of silence for the victims of the mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue. You got to see it. They have she tries to have a moment of silence for those shot in the synagogue, and some crazy Democrats jump up and start spewing their hate. All right. It's just out of control, I tell you.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Really. It's sickening. But you know what? It's kind of, as bad as it's been this weekend and this morning with the Morning Joe that is hate speech, go and look at it. Because it was pure hate speech. Based on no facts, just their feelings. But at least I was able to speak to some kind of sane Democrats today, right? Who are fully aware that you could point fingers at them for everything. Like I did during this show. If we're going to do the finger pointing game, then everybody is guilty. He who is without sin cast the first stone. For all have sinned, right? That's our reality as human beings. That's why it's so important. If you've ever been a person of common sense, of basic decency, it's important for you to find yourself right now and not get lost in the hate and the propaganda that has seeped into your soul. It's time to wake up. It really is time to wake up because people are losing themselves. It's insane. All right, people. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Be resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
I'm feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement or towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yes.
I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a